Hello everyone. Dear students, in today's video, we will cover poem number 6 from our first book, First Flight. And the name of the poem is Amanda, that is composed by Robin Klein. So let's talk about the poetess first. This poem is composed by Robin McMoff Klein, who is an Australian author of books for children. She writes children's and young adult fiction. Some of her famous books are Hating Alison Ashley, People Might Hear You. Introduction of the poem. Amanda is a short poem about the mental state of a young school-going girl who is always checked and instructed by her elders, most probably by her mother, and is given a long list of do's and don'ts. Feeling annoyed, she brushes aside the instructions and finds escape in dreams of a life full of liberty where she may live according to her own whims and fancies. Style of the poem. The poem is written in conversational style. Stanza number 1. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Here, the speaker is Amanda's mother and she is giving some commands like don't bite your nails, don't hunch your shoulders. Hunch means don't bend your shoulders. And stop that slouching, stop moving lazily, Amanda. And you are supposed to sit straight, Amanda. All these commands are being given to Amanda by her mother. Stanza number 2. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Languid means relaxed. Drifting means moving slowly. So, in the second stanza, Amanda imagines herself as a mermaid who lives a calm and relaxing life in the beautiful green sea. It means emerald means green. Okay, and languid means relaxed. It means being annoyed after getting so many instructions from her mother. Now Amanda imagines herself as a mermaid and she wants to live her life peacefully under the green sea. Vocabulary. Next stanza. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So again, the instructions are being given to Amanda by her mother, and she is saying, did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? And the speaker is saying that she thought that she had given the command to Amanda to clean her shoes. So all these again different commands are being given to Amanda by the speaker. And after getting these commands, again Amanda feel annoyed, and what she imagines this time, I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So in this stanza, what she is saying, as we all know that again Amanda's mother is scolding her, and now again Amanda imagines herself as an often. And what she is saying, she imagines herself to be an orphan because she is now fed up of being watched by her parents continuously. She says that she would have enjoyed her freedom then, but as we all know, and she is expecting that whenever she will if she is an orphan, in that case she she can roam the street without any hesitation, without any restriction. And now she's saying with her bare feet she can very easily make different patterns with her quite bare feet. And she is saying, and the silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. And again Amanda is saying that there, if she is an orphan, in that case the silence is golden. It means there will be silence, nobody will give her commands, and the freedom is sweet. And in that case she will be able to enjoy that freedom. Next one, don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? So, again, Amanda's mother is giving different instructions to her, and she is saying, don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Because she knows, the speaker knows very well that if she will eat or if she will take so much chocolates, then she has to face different acne on her face, and she would get different pimples on her face. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? And further the speaker is saying that would you please look at me, look at her when she was speaking to Amanda. It means Amanda was not paying heed to her mother. Next one, I'm Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So now, this time, Amanda imagines herself as Rapunzel. Actually, Rapunzel was a very beautiful girl, and she had to be confined in a tower, a very long tower, and there was tranquility, there was silence, there was peace, and she did not let anyone to come in that tower. Okay, so like Rapunzel, Amanda also longs for having that kind of life, and in that life she will never let anybody to come in that tower so that she may enjoy her solitude or enjoy her tranquility. Next one, stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So again, the speaker is saying sulking means to be upset. As she was getting commands after commands, so now she got disappointed and she became unhappy. So at this time, the speaker is saying that Amanda, you should not be upset, be happy. You are always so moody, and Amanda, you are always so moody. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. And the speaker is also sharing the view with Amanda that if she if she will unhappy, if she will be disappointed, that in that case, the other people thought that her mother or the speaker was nagging at her continuously. Nagging means, it means scolding. The speaker is scolding her uh, continuously. So these commands are repeatedly are being given to Amanda by her mother. So that was all about this poem. And now poetic devices. Different poetic devices are used in this poem. Metaphor, as you all know that emerald sea word is used for green sea, so here metaphor is there. And repetition, the word, there is a repetition of the word Amanda. Okay, so repetition is there. And imagery, in the sentence drifting blissfully, imagery is used here. And alliteration, stop that sulking, repetition of s sound. Metaphor, silence is golden, freedom is sweet. It means silence is being compared here with gold, and freedom is being compared with sweet. So alliteration, stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Again alliteration is there, there is a repetition of s sound. So summary of the poem, and you can go through the summary and then definitely everything will be clear to you. Theme of the poem, the poem focuses on the upbringing of a small child whose name is Amanda. Actually this poem is telling us about a very little girl Amanda, and the upbringing way of Amanda. It focuses on the struggles which a child is facing. Poet Robin Klein makes the important point that the children should never be deprived of their freedom. However, it is the parents who are responsible for the proper upbringing of their child. Actually, the poetess wants to convey a very strong message in this poem. And now, title, the poem centers around Amanda. Therefore, the poet has rightly titled this poem after the chief character. The title is followed by a mark of exclamation, which indicates that Amanda is being addressed and commanded. The punctuation mark reveals the authoritative, dominating, unsympathetic tone adopted by the mother in addressing her daughter. Message of the poem, the poetess wants to convey a very strong message through this beautiful poem. And the message is that children need to be allowed more liberty, that we should not make the students or make the children stay uh, inside the house, or we should give them freedom, we should give them freedom or liberty. And if excessive nagging will be there, definitely they will be defiant, and they turn a deaf ear to the instructions of the elders. So parents should understand the psychology of children, who in turn should be respectful and responsible to their parents. So I hope that this video will be fruitful for you to comprehend this poetry in a better way. So thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.